Hey y'all, welcome to Season with Love. I'm Casey. I'm back to do another Come Chat with Me with y'all. So I was sitting around talking to my sister and my family. We all talking about, I was letting them know that I didn't want a funeral. I didn't want notifications going up when I pass. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is not in agreement with my decision on not to have a funeral, or a repast or any type of service. I'm choosing to go with direct cremation. What that means is you come from wherever you died at, whether it be hospice, the hospital, or your home. And they take you to the crematorium and cremate you right away without any service, without any, and then they put your ashes in an urn, one that either you purchase from them or that you purchase on your own, which I've already purchased my urns that I'm going to have for my husband and my children and my sisters. So they fill up those urns, and that's what it consists of. And that already right there is $2,000 just for the direct cremation. And I'm telling my sister, like, who could afford a funeral? A funeral is like $20,000. I looked it up. A funeral in my state could cost anywhere from $10 to $20,000. Who could afford that? And if I did have that type of money, I would want to leave that to my child. I'm leaving behind a 10-year-old child. Of course, I would want him not to have to struggle, him and his dad being on their own. If I had that type of money, of course, I would leave it to my kid. I wouldn't spend it on a funeral, which is, to me, just a souped-up party. Souped-up reason for everybody to get together, come and hang out. Everybody want to drink. Everybody want to eat. And who's providing all this? My family, my children, my husband. They got to come out of their life and their pocket to provide, they getting limousine rides to the funeral home and new outfits and clothes and hair and family getting together, a place for the family to get together for the repast and the memorial service, all that you got to pay for. Who's paying for that? Everybody's like, oh, how you not going to have a funeral? How you not going to have a funeral? You jipping people out of the chance to say goodbye. But me personally, I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm giving you every opportunity to say goodbye. If I'm having this conversation with you right now, okay, any chance that we have is a chance for you to say bye. Every time I leave one of my family members, I say that goodbye like it's forever. Because it just may be in my situation. I don't know what goodbye is going to be my last goodbye. Or my last see you later. Or my last I love you. So I make sure I don't forget to say it every time I leave the company of someone I love. Or, that I know is going to miss me. And I don't want nobody to say, oh, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. I don't believe that coming to see you laying in a coffin, laying in a casket, is saying goodbye. I'd rather say my goodbyes when you're alive. Okay? Now, God forbid someone gets murdered on the street. Then you can live your life with regrets and saying, man, I regret not saying goodbye or telling them I love them. Not nobody in my situation who knows that they're going to die soon. I know I'm going to die soon. You know I'm going to die soon. What's stopping you from saying goodbye? What's stopping you from coming over here and cooking a good meal that we could enjoy? Or just coming over for a meal that I've cooked, on Season with Love. Come over here and enjoy a dinner with me. Reach out, shout out. You my family, you love me. Why take a funeral or somebody's death for the family to get together? I'm not going to be that purpose or that reason for my family to get together. Y'all call each other and get together on your own time. I'm not gonna be that reason. You know, it's just a glorified party. You know, I'm good. You know, whatever I have is going into an account for my son and my husband for their emergency needs, because I'm not here, you know. And I really appreciate all you who've reached out and wanted to donate to the channel and to my cause. I appreciate it. I finally got a donate link on the Season with Love site now, so you can go into my bio and click on donate if you want to leave any type of donations. Any type of donations are greatly appreciated. I really appreciate all of you. I love you. You know, I didn't even think that this would be where it's at today, starting this back in March. That right now I'm celebrating 700 subscribers. My children are so proud of me, and my grandkids, they so happy for me and so proud of me. Y'all gonna see them, some feature them on the channel, you know. And everybody's reaching out, and everybody is so genuine with their concerns. I couldn't be more grateful. I really appreciate all of you, all of you. I mean, I really couldn't be more grateful. And, you know, right now, I'm just still getting my affairs in order. Like I said, I already purchased my urn that, you know, I'm glad that I get to have a part in all of this, and the urns that I chose for my children are beautiful. You know, when they come in the mail, I'm gonna let you guys get a look at them because they are beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. You know, and my plan is to have some of my ashes spread in the state of Maine, where I grew up at in Maine, and in the lake out there where I learned to swim, and where, you know, I grew up there. I became a young lady there in Maine, and it was just the best time in my life, and that's where I choose to spend eternity, there. And of course, I want some of my ashes to stay with my children, so that if they get the chance to see the world, because I did it, and they know I always wanted to travel and go places, and I didn't get a chance, unfortunately. If they do, then I would hope they would take me with them. So that's the whole purpose of their little lockets with the ashes in them. You know, that I would hope that they would take me around the world, take me with them, and, you know, and I always want to be there for someone, for them to talk to and all that. But the direct cremation, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it when they said that was $2,000. I said, $2,000? Wow. You know, I live off a disability. You know, because I'm disabled, I'm receiving government assistance from disability. You know, and I make do with that, you know. But still, to have to save for that, and, you know, it's just worrisome. I try to keep everything balanced, you know, in balance. Like I told my family, I really don't like to think about a funeral or anything like that, because first of all, I know none of us could afford it. None of us could afford it, and I would not ever put that type of burden on my children or my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for them to be like, oh, we gotta get this, we gotta get that. Where we gonna get the money for this? Where we gonna get the money for that? So I've already picked a crematorium close to my home. Well, it's not that close to my home, because I didn't know that they charge you for mileage. They charge you to take the body from the hospital to the crematorium. They charge you for the mileage in the package. It's a package that I purchased, and they charge you. Well, I haven't purchased it yet, but I have it on like a payment thing, assignment. They do that for you when you're planning ahead for your death, which I think is great for people in my situation who don't have the money up front. You know, and I think that's awesome for them to be able to do that for people like myself, you know, and they really a look out. Like, God forbid I shall pass soon and the payments are not paid. That will give my family some time to pay off the payments and still continue with the cremation if a certain percentage of the cremation is paid for. And I think that's great too, you know. So I'm still just getting my things in order, but you know, comment down below and let me know your thoughts on a big funeral. Like, should you want a big funeral? Like, is that supposed to be like some type of going away party for you? It's like people are like, oh, I want a glass, you know, casket. I want to be rode around town on a horse and carriage, and I'm like, why? You're not enjoying any of that. And your family is grieving and suffering regardless of what type of casket you in or what type of car you riding around in after you going. Their grief doesn't change. Their suffering doesn't change. It's just for show. If you ask me, it's a show for the people who just coming out there. And if you want to say goodbye, bring me my flowers. You don't need to put them on my grave. I got a beautiful vase in my living room where we can put those flowers. Girl, come on here and give me my flowers, girl. Bring me my flowers. You want to say goodbye? Bring me my flowers, okay? I'll be here waiting with a hot meal, okay, and a warm hug, okay? And if that happened to be the last time that we ever see each other, you won't have no regrets about not having to go to a funeral, okay? You won't have to be like, oh, she ain't having no funeral, she ain't having nothing to say goodbye, or this and that. Yeah. You won't have no regrets. Because I'm going to make sure you know I love you, and you can make sure that I know you love me. Okay? And that's all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I told my sister said, you know, she know I never wanted to be buried because I suffer from claustrophobia. Don't lock me in nowhere. I don't even like a small bathroom. So just the thought of being in a casket 6 feet under the ground makes me sweat, makes me nauseous, sweaty. I don't even want to think about it. And my kids know that's not the way that I want it to be, where you have to be bound to a grave site and a headstone. You know, it's like, if you do decide to go and live in Paris or Italy or South Africa, somewhere, do you always have to travel back to the United States to visit your mother's grave? It's like, oh, I haven't seen my mother's grave in 20 years. I haven't been over there. No, take me with you. I want to go South Africa with you. I want to go to Paris. I want to be right there with you. So whenever you feel the need to be like, Ma, let me tell you this. Ma, I'm going through this right now. Ma, what am I to do, Ma? I'm going to be right there. I'm going to be right there. You're going to know that picture, and you're going to know that that's my body in that urn, and you're going to know that picture is who is in that urn, and that's who you're talking to, and better believe I'm listening. I'm going to be listening. You know, with God's will, I'm going to be listening. And I'm going to be right there to let you know that everything is going to be okay. And you ain't going to have to go to my grave to tell me. Okay? You ain't going to have to travel hundreds of thousands of miles across the United States to come to a grave because you moved. My daughter right now lives all the way across the United States in Louisiana. She got 4 of my grandkids out there with her. When I pass, I'm going to be out there too with them. Right in the living room on the mantelpiece. Okay? So they can always come and ask me anything. And talk to me about anything. You know, I don't like that I have to talk. You know, I wish I would have something personal with my mom so I can just be like, Ma. You know how many times I wanted to say Ma. You know, I've been blessed in my life, and when my mother left, she placed a person in my life, you know, to me that's always been motherly to me. And it just so happened that when my mother died, this woman came in my life about 5 years after I lost my mother, 5 or 6 years after I lost my mother. I was 18 when I lost my mother, so she came in my life around like 24, 23, 24. She came into my life at a time where I was really in need of someone. My house had just burned down. I was a young mother, and I met this lady because we met in a fire crisis center because her house had just burned down. I've been through a lot in my life, you know, and she was there for me. And when she told me, like, yeah, you know, we got to know each other, and she told me, come to find out, she's the exact same sign as my mom, and they was born the exact same month, and they're the exact same age. They was born the same year, the same month, and they only 11 days apart. And I said, oh my goodness. And you know what? I didn't get along with my mom growing up. But this lady here is like my best friend. And I said, my mother wanted me to know that had she lived, that me and her, our relationship was just like that because I was a child. You know, I was a young child. And as I grew and matured, so would our relationship. And I think that's why she placed this woman in my life. I love you, Carol. You know, and I always talk about her. And she's been in my life ever since. Right now, she calls me every day. And if I don't answer my phone, she's 64 years old, 63 years old. If I don't answer my phone, she'll be ready to travel. And she's all the way in another state out here to see me. She's been out here more than anyone. Any of my family, she's come here to see me and been here and always here for me, taking care of me and rubbing my feet and just doing way too much for me. And I love her to death. And I believe that my mother sent her here to take care of me because she knew I had no one. She knew I didn't have anyone. I didn't have a connection with my family members, with my grandmother and all. I didn't have the connection that my sisters had with them. And my mother knew that. And she sent this woman, you know, to be someone in my life who was nurturing. I just want to say nurturing, you know. She always been there for me. I can call her for anything. I love her to death. When I tell you I love her to death, I'm going to love her until I leave this earth. Okay? And she'll call me and, how my baby girl doing? How my baby just make me feel so special, and I just love her so much. You know, I can't talk about her enough. And she'll come and cook for me, and y'all know all the cooking I do, she still will come and cook. I be trying to tell her to sit down, girl. You ain't know her better off than I am at her age. You know, she don't care. She be up. She got more energy and strength than all of us, y'all. But I love that lady. And I said, I wish that my children could find someone like I did, you know, in my life to bring that nurture aspect to them. Because even at my age now, I'm 46 years old, I still need that. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going through something, especially like what I'm going through now, I still need that. You know, you need that. And it keeps me fighting. Makes me get up every single day, get up out the bed. I know, even when I don't have an appetite, I know she'll be on that phone like, girl, you better eat. You better get up, eat, drink, get up out the bed. You know, how many times you got up? Get up. You got to stretch your legs. You know, you got to do that. And she'll just be, you know, motivating me. Between her and my husband, I'm telling you, they are my strength. They are my strength. I'm here. And God. We're not going to forget about him. It's all his grace and his mercy that's keeping me here every day. All the blessings that he bestowed upon me and just giving me this window and this opportunity to come and talk to you wonderful people. I love all of y'all. I'm telling you. I'm so happy with being able to vent and get stuff off of my chest like this, you know. But sometimes you can't really talk to people that you close with because their opinions block, you know, the point you're trying to get across. It's like they let their own personal feelings get in there, like, oh no, but we don't want that. You know, you gotta have a funeral. You know, you just gypping people. We want to all get together and say our goodbyes and. If you don't got $20,000, don't be telling me I need to have no funeral. Because you ain't got $20,000 to pay for no funeral. So don't be coming at me talking about I need to have no funeral. No. I'm like, no. That's why I said we all gonna, they let their personal feelings cloud the realism of the situation. You know, nobody could afford it. Like, even the people who have $20,000 can't afford it. They die in debt. They owe this person, that person that's trying to pay all them bills and everything, medical bills, come on, you barely keeping your head above water, and to go and spend that type of money on just a basic funeral at that. I ain't talking about nothing fancy. That's basic expenses. Okay, that's basic expenses. I told myself, I don't want no burial plot. I don't want no headstone. I don't want to be, no, I don't want none of that. You know, spread my ashes on my lake. You know, I love that lake. I always wanted to take my children there all their life. I've been a mother this year for 31 years. Okay, I've been a mother. And ever since the first time I became a mother to my children, I wanted to take them to that lake I grew up on. Okay, and for 31 years, I've been telling them, like, you know, when I get rich or when I get some money, you know, I'm gonna buy a house in Maine. We're gonna have horses because I learned how to horseback ride there. I learned how to play the piano. All my skills, gardening, everything I taught my kids, everything I know. Even though they're city kids, they grew up in New York City and living in the inner city with, we have flower pots. Y'all gonna learn everything I know. Because if I don't know nothing, what I do know is that you need to be multi-talented in this world. Okay? And you can focus on what you love and do what you love, but you having extra skills is always a bonus. And so, I taught my kids everything I learned. Everything being out there taught me how to play the piano, you know, how to write music, and everything I learned, I taught my kids. And they're all so talented, all of them. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed not to have kids that's, you know, in the streets or drug addicted. I thank God every single day for all my blessings. You know, I might have never had gotten rich and never got that house in Maine for them, but I'm glad that, you know, I'm gonna get the opportunity to spend all eternity there. You know, so I'm gonna go back one day, and I know, and that puts joy in my heart and put a smile on my face. You know, that I'm gonna see it again. You know, and they gonna see it too, because that's what I want them to do for me. You know, with any money that I would have, I want them to, like, you know, just rent like one of them big 17 passenger vans and everybody load into them. I have 5 kids, 8 grandkids, 3 in-laws, and my husband. Okay, so everybody load up into a van and drive it out there to Maine, and everybody get a nice little hotel, and in the morning y'all say something for me and let me know y'all finally made it and y'all finally got to see what I've been wanting y'all to see my whole life, you know. And nothing's gonna be better for me, you know. That right there is gonna be heaven for me, paradise. You know, just the thought makes me happy. You know, it makes me happy that, you know, I know that it's gonna happen. And even though I can make it happen while I was living, because right now I'm not allowed to travel long distances, and from where I'm at, Maine is probably about 15 hours, maybe 14 hours up, because it's up closer to Canada, the part of Maine that I was in. So it's quite a few hours. Even when you get to the bottom of Maine, it's about 4 hours into Maine. So, you know, from where I'm at. I know from where I lived in New York to go to Maine was 8 hours. So from New York to the part of Maine where I was at when I went there every year was a 8-hour travel, because you got to go through Massachusetts, you know, New Hampshire. We had to go through state after state just to get to Maine, and it took us 8 hours, an 8-hour ride on the bus to get there, me and my sister. So, and I went there for 10 years straight. I loved going there. So it took us 8-hour ride from all the way up to New York, and so I figured it's gonna be about between 12 and 15 hours to get from here to there, you know. So I'm definitely not able to travel that distance. And I asked my doctor, could I travel to Louisiana to see my daughter? I can't get on a plane in the condition my heart is in, and they're afraid of embolisms, which is blood clots forming in the legs and the feet, which they check me for periodically for embolisms because of the pain and the swelling, because I have a lot of nerve inflammation in the legs and the feet because of the fluid retention. So my nerves get inflamed. So they check me a lot for that. And so they're afraid of embolisms, of course, traveling to the heart, the brain, and lungs, and causing sudden death, and which happens a lot with people with my sickness. And because I never flown before, just a basic heart attack, because I know I would be scared, scared shitless to get on a plane. Boy, I tell you, scared out of my mind. I said, I'm already scared before I get on the plane. Just thinking about it got my heart racing. You know, nobody plane. I said, I feel like if you ain't rolled no plane before 9/11 and you lived through 9/11, you got some fears of getting on that plane. If you was in New York like I was during 9/11, okay? I was downtown when that happened. You got some fears of getting on that plane. So, I ain't in no hurry to get on no plane, but I know right now I will never be able to board a plane, according to my doctor. He said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't getting on no plane unless you don't want to get off of it. Said, you ain't got to worry about me, none. So, unfortunately, we can't do that while I'm living because of the distance to travel. And we thought about everything, like even getting one of them house on wheels, the RV ones, because they got the bed and I have a big machine. You know, I don't know if y'all hear it in the back of my Season with Love videos. I'll insert a clip of it right here. That's the machine that I use in the kitchen. And, you know, it's in my kitchen downstairs. That's to refill my portable tanks and for me to be on in the house. That's this wire right here y'all see. This whole green wire and everything is runs completely through my entire house for me to travel around the house, and it's connected to that big machine to give me continuous 24-hour oxygen, because I can't be off the oxygen not for a second, you know. My lungs is in a worse state for me to be off my oxygen. So, but yeah, so that's unfortunate that I'm not gonna get to travel there with them in my living being. But at least they get to take me, you know, my ashes there and spread them there. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've had fun chatting with you guys on this Come Chat With Me about, you know, me not wanting to have a funeral and the reasons why I don't want to have a funeral. And y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments below. You know, I know a lot of people see different on how to say farewell to a family member. But me, I've always been a more you know, face-to-face kind of person. Come talk to me now. You can even give me a call. Call me on the phone. You know, tell me something. Don't just be like, oh, you know, I'm going to wait till the funeral to go see her. You know, no, don't do that. Because I ain't having no funeral. You know, I ain't having no kind of funeral. I'm going right from where I died straight to the crematorium. And like I said, I'm going to let y'all know what crematorium I chose and where it's at. You know. And again, I appreciate all of you who donated to my channel. Miss Latoya and everybody, shout out to y'all. Thanks for your donations. It's really greatly appreciated. And trust me, it's really going towards a wonderful cause and helping me pay for this cremation and everything. And I really, 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 really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I can't stress it enough how much I greatly appreciate all of you, even you who are supporting the channel and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, and all of you who leave comments and everything. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate you. When I say that I appreciate you, believe me, I appreciate all of you, okay? And I look forward to coming to chat with y'all again. So y'all, put on your notification bells, y'all, and stay tuned to Season with Love, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.